This the Geek Protagonist, and originally I was gonna do a different video, but I'm working on that later, and I might reshoot it. So for this Blackout Tuesday, there's something I wanted to talk about. Now, first and foremost, don't just do the squares. That's a start. And some people are saying, well, it's blocking Black Lives Matter. Only black people shouldn't have to do the squares, but everybody else should. Only this, only that. Okay, the squares are supposed to show solidarity amongst social media and everything because people usually on social media and stuff, and it's supposed to be one voice giving one message of protest. With that also too, and I've answered a few people when they've asked, well, what's the best way to do this? Also, too, you should be with it sending a message about it. I see Nisi Dash talk about hey, call out people who do stuff, call out people who say this, like learn from the experiences of everyone. Now, I want to say something because this is downright odd. So, the 45th, who reacted to Twitter in a span of like a day or two because how dare they put a fact check thing on his Twitter, yet while stuff was burning and everything and people are dying and the cops and the whole situation, he's refusing to say anything. And I even tweeted back to him about that, saying you got people who are hurting for money, you got unemployment, you got people dying, cities burning, and your main concern is Twitter. So this guy, in his infinite wisdom, says, my administration has done more for the black community than any president since Abraham Lincoln. Passed opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott, guaranteed funding for HBCUs, school choice, passed criminal justice reform, lowest black unemployment, poverty, and crime rate in history. Another tweet he does, law and order. Millions of dollars in jobs for the state because of NC governor. We are now forced to seek another state to host the 2020 Republican National Convention. Now, on this thread, sorry, my tablet is garbage. I even seen somewhere where, let's see, can I even find it? Because a lot of people apparently responded to the tweet. They got Brexit 2020 stands with President Trump. He loves you and loves our country. Brexit is something that was done by Officer Tatum. So let me give you a quick, because he's like the head of Brexit, or he started it or something. So let me give you a quick scenario of Officer Tatum. First and foremost, this guy who was a police officer that was a Democrat became a Republican, but he pushes so hard as a Republican that he's actually someone that the news media calls on, where they mainly call on him, and he's Uncle Tom. Now, that's not me saying it. He got a shirt that literally says Uncle Tom, because of the fact that he was a former police officer, he's black, so they always like to get his perspective. So I'll start off with him, because somewhere in here also too, it's funny because Kanye West put something on here about Republicans, but we're going to start with that. So Officer Tatum, to me, he pulled his own black card when he put on the blue card. And why I say this is because of the fact that if you see that video where that 14-year-old is being manhandled by a much bigger grown adult Caucasian police officer, Officer Tatum said it was cool. At least he ain't go off. He ain't punched him in the face. He just punched him in the chest several times. A 14-year-old kid. I want you to think about what would happen if that was your son, your daughter, your brother, or somebody, and you saw a grown man hitting that child. What would you do? But according to Officer Tatum, it was cool. It was all gravy, baby. It's cool that police officers beat up children, black kids in the neighborhood. That's who Officer Tatum is in a nutshell. He talks a lot of talk, but he got him and his followers, and he goes so hard in the paint for Trump. Trump can't do nothing wrong. Nothing, according to his eyes. As a matter of fact, the current protest, he said, why are they still protesting? I don't know. He said they shouldn't. They got the guy. Why are they still protesting? That's the guy. He's the weapons that they're using. Now, I'm not talking about Republicans, because you got Kanye West over here talking about don't vote for Democrat, don't do this for Democrat. It's all Republicans. Everything from abortion to slavery, everything is Democrats' fault. Let me tell you my take on that before I get into the 45th's wonderful words, but not talking about the situation, too busy saying loot, shoot, and all these things that former white supremacists have said, and reflecting rhetoric that, Adolf Hitler has said. Let's take this. If you are a person and all you do is say these liberals, these Democrats, these whatever, you call them every name in the book. Or if you're the other side and say, well, I think it was like Repub-Dums or something, or Redumlicans, I think I've seen someone say. Yeah, Redumlicans, or anything like this. Or these conservative people want to take this, and every liberal just want to take your rights away, and the Republicans. All right. If you're that hard in the paint for either side, 50% of the time, you are wrong. You need to check it. You're sitting there going, oh, the Republicans. You're sitting there going, oh, the Democrats. I want you to check something. I want you to think about this. I want you to name me a poor Democrat leader. Name one that's poor. Then I want you to name me a poor Republican. Now, I have a problem with people being rich, but these are the same types of people on the same side of the coin that's telling you what to do. They were so quick to give these businesses money. I'm not saying businesses did not need it, but when the money ran out, they gave it to them again. When the money ran out, they gave it to them again. When the money ran out, they gave it to them again. PPP and all that, right? We get one stimulus check, and they help out people with the $600 unemployment, even though it took people months to get that money sometimes. And there's people who still haven't gotten their stimulus checks yet. But when it comes up to the people getting their second stimulus check, oh wait, now we got to think about the economy. You know why? Because their friends are the ones who are in real estate. Their friends are the ones who are in the businesses. Their friends are this. I need people to start waking up and realizing that as a whole, they don't care about you. Because if they did, it wouldn't take them this long to give us money. When they sent out a survey, and I did a video about them giving out the survey, I think it was last month, where we just heard something today. Oh, well, we're going to do this. And all they said was, we're going to look at the COVID-19 impact. We hear your voices. Let's be real. There are people who are setting up. All you got to do is look at social media. Don't just listen to the news. Look at what people are posting. You can clearly see that there are people who aren't with the movement, who aren't about Black Lives Matter, who aren't about any of Justice for George. They're trying to create chaos and things. And if you are looting and you are rioting, you are a terrible person who is ruining what this is about. This is about equality. And I'm loving the fact that I am seeing videos where people are literally of different colors coming together going, no, police, that's wrong. This is about police not doing the procedures. And what you are seeing, and the reason why some of this rioting was because of it, is because people lost faith inside of the governments and the people who are making these laws, because you are not taking care of your people. I shouldn't have to be worried when a cop stops me. Is that going to be my last night on earth? But guess what? Every time it happens, I have to. Now, you got this guy sitting here spewing some nonsense About you've done more for black people. First off, so you're saying the equivalent of freeing the slaves. That's what you've done? For real? Also, too, that thing that they're talking about, the if I remember correctly, and I'm doing this off the cuff, so some of this, and my head was in some other places, so I apologize if I'm a little bit off. But when he's talking about it, I think the thing that started the opportunity zones, that's a thing where people can go into poorer neighborhoods, take out of their own retirement fund, and put it into real estate. Now, I have not fact checked all this, but I'm telling you this right now. The lowest black unemployment, the lowest poverty and crime rates in history. Last I checked, isn't there like 40 million people that are out of work right now? If I'm off, I know there's quite a bit of people out of work right now. The poverty rate, you didn't do that. But, okay. Here's what's funny. He's saying that he guaranteed these fundings and stuff, yet we haven't seen it. Now, don't be fooled. Don't be like Kanye. Kanye, Officer Tatum, all these people, he's using as his voices as a weapon. Now, this is not me going against Republicans. There are Republicans who are standing up against this. This is me going after or specifically talking about Donald Trump himself. When have you seen a president that has been this rude, this ignorant, this disproportionate of how he deals with people and situations? He literally incites these different types of things and saying things that incite violence. Loot, shoot. Oh, you're being weak. What do you think's going to happen if you have people starting to who are already arguing about police brutality, who are already talking about this injustice? What do you think is going to happen if you start having these people use maximum force on the crowds of people? They can barely handle what's going on now. Then I see people, and I may go more into depth of this later, but then I see people who are questioning celebrities who are posting up bail for people, and they're saying, well, they're helping the rioters too. Celebrities want unrest. Yeah, or some celebrities being goofy like that basketball player who said burn it down, but as soon as it came to his community, he all of a sudden get these people the F out of here. Yeah. At the same time, when y'all sitting there questioning celebrities, oh, celebrities are doing it for clout. Oh, they're doing it for this, or they're doing it for that. Are they now? Or are they seeing something here? Now, when you're questioning why celebrities are talking and why do people... There are people who listen to celebrities. There are kids who look up to celebrities or younger people. You might go, oh, these celebrities have nothing to say in their mansions. Donald Trump did 104, if I remember correctly, tweets about Colin Kaepernick kneeling. You know how many he did for George Floyd? Donut. I need people to wake up. Stop picking sides and pick the side of yourself and your people and what's best for you. When I keep hearing people go, oh, what is this person doing for the black community? What's that person doing for the black community? Two questions. One, what are you doing for the black community? Or are you doing something more for the people? Now we're seeing there are people that are. That's good. Two, what exactly do you expect Barack Obama, now Trump, or all these, or Biden, or anybody else? What do you actually expect specifically for the black community that no other community needs to get but the black community? I know what I want. I want fair policing. Every time we come up, it gets torn down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to eliminate the other video. This is going to be the video. So, I'll be right back. I got something I want to read, and then I got something I want to talk on a talking point. But Officer Tatum is all about the blue, all about the Trump. He's not about the people. He's not about black people or the movement, because he questioned Why are people still protesting? This isn't about George Floyd. You're right. It's more than just George Floyd. George Floyd was the spark that ignited the flame to get people to say enough was enough. And people are protesting. I couldn't go to the stores today. I mean, I found what I needed finally because Walmart's and things shut down. Because in my state, people started to protest, and I agree with them. So it's peaceful. But my thing is that you also saw some people, and I'm not talking about the rioters or the looters. You see him saying they're all the same, and I'm starting to notice people are going all the same. And now Antifa. Now I can admit I don't know everything about Antifa or anything like this, but I've now noticed that they're like, well, it's Antifa, it's Antifa. They're trying to label an enemy. They're trying to get the visuals off of what's going on. The true core of what is happening is that police officers and people of authority are not taking care of a portion of their community, which happens to be black people. And black people, you can look it up, are disproportionately quicker to be poor, quicker to be in the lower levels of community, and harder to break the glass ceiling. And do you know why? Because back in the day when we were brought over here and everything happened and we had the Jim Crow laws that turned into red linings and all this other stuff that was going on, they kept making systems to keep us down, to keep us segregated. When the Jim Crow laws got pushed out for the segregation, they did the red lining. Look it up. The system is rigged. Like Kanye and Tatum and stuff, who are fine, who are getting up here and they're kind of forgetting where they're coming from. Listen to what a celebrity has to say because they are a human being. But don't let a celebrity be the only determining factor to what you vote for or what you do. Look at what these people are actually saying. Look at their policies. Look at do some research. Don't just sit there and go, well, I'm a Republican, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. Or I'm a Democrat, I'm going to vote for Biden. Look at what they're saying. Look at what they're offering. I want people to understand this. And the reason why I'm calling out and I'm calling Officer Tatum's name is because I'm sick and tired of him. This man literally said it was okay for a grown man to take his fist and punch into a child. And anybody that supports that, I want you to recheck yourself. It was a child. Resisting arrest. This little thin child not resisting arrest. But Officer Tatum said it was all right and he would do the same thing because he's drinking the Kool-Aid. Now, here's something else. Now, you got people like Kanye who sit there, oh, it's all this and all that. Where are you coming from with that? Where? Where is this coming from? Who knows? But I'm going to read something to you. And I'm going to talk about something real quick. And this video is going to be a little long. I'll be right back. Hold on. So I had to do this because there was a YouTuber that actually was saying something because there were celebrities who were actually trying to help out people and going out and doing stuff. And their whole thing is maybe I'm jaded, but every time I see a celebrity do anything, it's only because of clout or anything. So this was a long one and no one seemed to respond to what I had to say. So I just want to point out, looters and rioters are not the protesters. People do take opportunity in chaos. I do not support that. But here we go. It's funny, though, how when I go down Instagram or Twitter, and I do see that there are celebrities out there protesting. Celebrities like Sabrina Carpenter, Nikki Soho, Kalani, Jennifer Murillo, and plenty of others. Recently, I'll give him a shout out because I happened to be in the same area he was, but I was trying to get out of the area. Tyrone Magnus was out there with Scarlo, and I actually was in the same area that he was. But I said, okay, who are also in the public eye, maybe to a small degree, but still in the public eye, are just paragons of virtue. And I think that actually is a fine point. I myself talk about some of the things that go on and what people say because sometimes people say offensive, offbeat, stupid things. But when you nitpick every single thing a celebrity does or a person decides to do and how they want to help in doing it, maybe anonymously, maybe not, doesn't matter, changing how they give it or make it on an offhand to someone you know, How many times a person goes, guess who gave us money? Because sometimes the people receiving the money also want to get the clout of that other. Like, oh, you did it, you know. So basically, what I mean by that is that sometimes, let's say a celebrity gives someone something anonymously. Donnie Cates did that, and they ended up telling because they wanted to give that person their props. So it's like, oh, but how people do it? Oh, you must have did it for a tax break, or why not give it to the government, or why not give it to the businesses, or and it goes on and on and on. How about this? Stop telling people what to do with their money, and even if they turn around and say, hey, I'm going to send this much or whatever to who, the media is the one who covers it. What you see happening right now is a combination of pressure between the quarantine and inequality and a loss of respect for the authorities that are supposed to protect the people of my skin color. Because too much inequality is happening. So how about this? Let's just be happy that there are people who are giving up large lump sums of money to help people out. I feel as though most times when people give up money, it's usually for an alternative reason. It's not just give the money. Basically, not just give and take the money. I also find it funny that if somebody wins money, all of a sudden they're supposed to donate or they're supposed to do all this stuff and they're supposed to listen to what everybody tells them. The news sees that and they are the ones who post the pictures of the people even during the situation. It's still the spread of the awareness of that situation. But if the celebrities want to take a moment to make themselves look good, okay. Can I say the same thing for every YouTuber that talks about where they're going to send money and ask me to send money to that same place, or where they have the little fundraiser icon under the video? Is that you making yourself look good? See how that can be trivialized? Thank you, though, for your honest opinion. Not coming at you, just wanted to give a different perspective. May talk about this myself. Now, some of this may seem a little jumbled as of what I said, but basically the person was going in on the celebrities because a bunch of celebrities gave out money to bail out some of the protesters and to help some of the people and donate. And I saw in the comment section people sitting there trying to tell, oh, no, you should have did this. And why are they doing that? Oh, they're just doing it for clout. So the people walking out there is doing this in your $1 million mansions. Why are you talking? They're talking because they're Americans. Does that mean that everything that comes out of their mouth is great? No. Does that mean everything coming out of your mouth is great? No. Does that mean everything coming out of my mouth is great? No. But people listen to these celebrities because there are people that look up to these celebrities. And when people sit there and go, well, you need to check yourself for reflection. Well, who are the heroes? There are people who follow basketball players. There are people who follow Jay-Z and they see his story as inspirational. Also, too, you have this whole thing, and like I said, I do apologize. I think when I was writing it, I was just, as you can see, it was a lot of stuff. But I was calling out this, saying something on this YouTuber's comments because just of the sheer fact that I'm like, you're talking from a place like, why can't a celebrity help people when they're in this trouble? Why can't they do that? Why can't they say something? If they say something stupid, yeah, call them out. But you can't take every time a celebrity does anything as, oh, it's totally tone deaf. They're in their $1 million in their big mansions. A lot of these celebrities have come from places. There was a point in time Jenny was really from the block. Not every single one of them is there. And are some of them disconnected from where they are? Yeah. Are some of them a little crazy on the political side? Of course. Let's talk about the experience. Don't hate, before I get to that, don't hate on the celebrities because the celebrities want to send out money and help. Look, no matter where the money's coming from, these people are still getting the money that's needed. So why you care? I mean, now they say, yeah, I did this. Oh, okay, but I'm just, calling, chill. Now, the reason why there's an inequality in the country, and I want to hear the 45th and the Congress and stuff actually dig into this, is because I don't know if a lot of you guys know about Black Wall Street. This is reasons or proof of why black people are in such a disproportionate position. So the police are told to police the poor areas more, which happens to be of black people. There's Caucasians and others there too, but a lot of black people are disproportionately poor. There's way more poor black people than there are rich. And sometimes do we hold ourselves back? Yeah. But there's also times there is a real truth to the system. So Black Wall Street, I'll touch on some bullet points. Basically what happened was that this was an area that black people were really coming up. Had our own airlines, had our own businesses, had our own laundries, doing everything for ourselves, taking care of ourselves. It was a utopia of progress for the black people. They had a nice place, everything. Just going up, just going up. One woman does a false accusation. And when I mean going up, think about really nice. This is why it's called. Think about what you think about when you hear the word Wall Street. This was that level for black people. One woman does a false accusation on a kid. News runs it. A bunch of Caucasian people want to come to town to lynch this kid because they said they were going to lynch him. Black men came up and protected that kid. These Caucasian people ended up dying because they were trying to kill somebody without a trial, without due process, without evidence, just word to word. So in retaliation, they bombed this place. They burned this place. They dragged people out of their houses and their homes, and they hung them, and they killed them, and they beat them, and they tortured them. And there was a whole line of people watching as this was going down. And they burnt that place to the ground. You got Rosewood, another progressive place. The movie does a fantastic job of it, where you see some of them. I don't have a piano. He has a piano. And they waited for that little thing. And as soon as black people got up, tried to kill everybody and tear it down. There's plenty of other stories and things that have happened in history. When black people started coming up, started to do things. And this ain't about all Caucasian people either. Please, please, please don't think I'm talking about all Caucasian people. I'm actually talking about the system as a whole that just happens to have quite a bit of Caucasian people in it. You have these laws that get put into place after we get freed and emancipated. Segregation. We're a third of human. Things like this start to happen. We go through the 60s, get the dogs out, loot, shoot. Still not there. 60 some odd years later, and we're still dealing with police. The fact that I don't know a single black child, I don't know a black adult that's under the age of 10 that haven't been accosted or something by police in some way, shape, or form. And I mean accosted as in the sense of a gun pull out or very aggressive or gripped up or something. I've had it happen to me more times than I care to count. So then you have more police shootings, more things, and we kind of hit this new level where it's like cops are just wholesale. You're black, oh well, we'll choke you out. We won't help you. You have Colin Kaepernick. He kneels. No, he ain't supposed to kneel. He's supposed to play ball. Trump does 104 tweets. Just play football. Beyonce does her performance and does the thing about Black Lives Matter. Oh, she can't do that. Oh, you can't do this. Wrong platform. Wrong platform. Now, here's something funny. You have people during the COVID pandemic, a lot of them are Caucasian. They're mad because they can't go to work and they want to go back to work, but what you see people saying, I want to get my hair cut, I want to get this, I want to get that, things like that. Not all, but plenty of them were Caucasian. And you started seeing to a point they had rifles out. They had automatic weapons out. You see them yelling directly in the cop's face. Cops just taking it. Now, I've seen people who were trying to go home for curfew and cops are slamming them, gripping them up. Peaceful protesters. These protesters weren't burning nothing, throwing bricks, because they're not, because they're different people who are trying to set up people to do it. There are people who are calling out people like, what are you doing? And some of them are doing it for racial things. One of the guys threw a Molotov cocktail at not a hospital, urgent care. They kicked it away. The guy clearly said, I saw them. They were white supremacists. There are people who are trying to take and detract away from the situation by going to the looters and stuff. So when you see the media talking about it, don't fall for it. You can see on social media. I seen cops gripping people up. Guy recently, he wasn't somebody. He wanted their cards because they tried to lock him up. And I'm seeing Caucasian people stepping up and backing people up. The fake brick story where they got the bricks lined up. They said, where did these bricks come from? We ain't have these bricks. And you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing Caucasian people. I'm seeing Asian people. I'm seeing all types. And that's what's needed. Thank you. You got these people who are fully armored up and everything. But when the stuff was happening before even the riot things, you see cops spraying people, tasing people from their cars. People who are peacefully protesting, not the looters, but the ones who are peacefully protesting. Spray. All this stuff. No weapons in their hands. You see an image of a guy holding a weapon while another grown man has his child on his back. Yet you got guys with wholesale automatic rifles and things who happen to be Caucasian in your face, standing in front of the government buildings saying, we're going to do our rights. Click, click. Click, click. Nothing happened. All these people were doing stuff. And I want to get my hair cut. I want to get my hair dyed. I want this. I want that. I'm not a person that normally talks about privilege because I think people throw the word privilege around too much. But that particular situation, I understand. There are people that are out of work. There are people hungry, people needing, watching their kids doing it. But then there's a lot of those people who just wanted things. And yeah, but it was their right. It was their right to march. It was their right to say what they felt. But now when everyone else is protesting, now it's a problem. When they're protesting the death of a black man and it's not beyond the black man, it's actually a death and the inequality in the country as a whole that needs to be fixed. Now it's a problem. When we used to say this whole situation, look at us, you ain't care. Black lives matter. No, all lives matter. Blue lives matter. You're going to protest our protest with a protest? Nah. So as this stuff goes down, here's something I have to say. And this is how you counter them. Listen, every life is precious. All lives do matter. But right now, there is a section of your community. Not just the black community. Just the community. My friend just told me, and her kids aren't fully black, but she's afraid to have them go outside because she doesn't know if she's going to get that call when they come home. That shit, and from a cop. Because a cop just happened to feel a certain way a certain day. That shouldn't be a thing. This is America. Now, you sit there and you say all this stuff and all these things, and you got that guy who started the alt-right word and all that crap. And people throw that word around and everything. Here's something funny. Y'all brought us here. We're a part of this country now. So when people sit there and say, go back to Africa, no. You brought us here. You have to deal with it. This is your consequence. Because you wanted to have us as property and sell us as property. Today, don't just post this. What I want you to do is that I want you to say your piece, speak your experience, whether it's a friend. If you're Caucasian, you have experiences too. If you're Asian, you got experience. If you're Puerto Rican, if you're Dominican, if you're Latinx, whatever it is, you have experiences too. Share your experiences, even if it's with your friend. And you're like, yo, I seen my friend and this happened to my friend. Share your experiences. I'm still seeing cops pull things. And here's the thing I'm going to close this on because I know this video ran long. Miss me with that 99% of cops are good. That Tatum argument. If a cop is not calling out bad behavior, you're just as bad as the cop that did it. Because you're going to let them do it again. Now, I seen a guy do a video, and Melina, the wonderful wrestler, she posted a thing, and I seen a video that where a police officer was talking about this is why, and he spoke from both sides. It's a great video where he talks about what happened with black people, but he talked about the police officers who do good stuff. Because let's be real, we need cops. Cops do good things. What we need, and he said, him and his people, they're making, and he's Christian and everything, they're making I'm not, but they're making a stand. He said if he sees bad behavior, he's calling it out. And his other officer said, yeah, they're not doing this anymore because you can't. It's time for the whole team blue. Or are you black or are you blue? Are you poor or are you blue? Are you Caucasian? Are you one of them or you one of us? That needs to end. Your job is to serve and protect the people. So for those 99% of cops that are good, because it seems like we keep seeing deaths from cops who are keep ending people's lives, who are hurting people, and then yet they're like, but no, you can't say that. Not all cops are bad. Not all cops are bad. Okay, this is what I say. If you have not called out that police officer, if you have not talked about that bad behavior, if you have not done that, then you are just as guilty. I know this video kind of ran through different stuff. Donald Trump, you have not helped out black people as much as I was going to close, but I want to close with this. You have not helped out as much black people or black people as much as Abraham Lincoln. Don't you ever compare yourself to a man who freed us and started us on a path of making us actually become humans in the eyes of the oppressor. Are you nuts? The unemployment, stop taking credit for things you didn't do. I already checked the unemployment thing when it comes to black people. That wasn't you. It's pretty much the same as where it's always been. Most of your claims that you said on this, fact checking you, which is probably why you hate Twitter so much, because you're still on the platform, but you're going to shut Twitter down, but you just never can't get off the platform, which is stupid. You're going to tell Twitter on Twitter you're going to shut down Twitter. How about, because I tweet him sometimes because he just says things that I just can't let go. Stop tweeting and start fixing. Fix the pandemic situation. Fix police force. Start working with the governors. Stop calling them names and weak and stuff. And start working with the governors to reform the police so this kind of behavior becomes a rarity. It starts to become a one-off and not an eventuality. When I say stay safe, stay healthy, stay real, I want people to stay safe because it's a jungle out there. No matter what race you are, no matter what it is, you got to stay safe. You got to be careful. Stay healthy because I want you to live a long time, and I want you to be real to yourself. Try to show people human decency. This is all I got to say. From a black man that lives in America that's been called every name in the book, to you. And everybody who's protesting, keep protesting until change happens. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. Hey, thank you for visiting my channel. This is the Geek Protagonist. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please, it'll really help me out in the channel if you actually share these videos, if you like what I'm doing. Please hit that bell notification, hit it, click. This way you won't miss any of my videos. Also, there's a thing on there that says personal and all. Hit the all. This way you'll get them every time for the notifications. I'm trying to, grow, trying to do commentary about what's going on. And I want to thank you again. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay real. This is the Geek Protagonist. I'm out, and I'll see you.